and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're into astrology or want to learn more about it, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. We'll be continuing our series on the Venus signs, and today's video will be about Venus in Libra. So what does it mean to have your Venus in Libra? This is a very lucky placement. If you have this, you might find it easier than most people to express your love, to express your affection, and to really show how it is that you're feeling, provided that your Venus sign placement is in its purest energy. There's no retrogrades or squares or oppositions to it or anything. But Venus in Libra, you really strive for fairness and equality in your relationships. You want the type of partner or the type of love where both of you have equal say, equal power, and you're both doing the same amount of giving and receiving in love. It's very, very important for you to be involved in a relationship that has that equality and has that fairness, because Libra is the scales, and they're about justice, they're about fairness, and just giving as much as you're taking. Where is that the most important than in your personal relationships? And that's what Venus is all about. So the reason why I say you as a Venus and Libra person probably has an easier time than most in your relationships or expressing your love, your affection, and your feelings is because Venus naturally rules Libra. And what that means is, so basically Libra is naturally attuned to the things of Venus, of the affairs of Venus, because Venus is in its home sign. And so this gives you an advantage because I feel like love, as it should naturally be expressed, is all about equality and is all about, it's not about power or taking control of somebody or taking advantage of them. It's just about a partnership. And Libra really understands that. Venus in Libra really understands the whole partnership aspect of love and about relationships. And so this makes them pretty easy to get along with naturally. Venus is also about how you relate. And so placed in Libra, there is that give and take, that relationship, that really easy natural connection that you're able to find with most people or create with most people. Libra is also a cardinal sign, and so they are most likely to be the ones to initiate a relationship or initiate a connection, be the first one to reach out and ask how you're doing, or try to make small talk or anything. If it has to do with reaching out to other people and forming a connection with them, any type of connection or relationship, a Venus in Libra is very natural at that. They're very good at that. Relationships and connecting with people and just partnerships in general, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, is really, really important and a really high priority for a Venus in Libra. They sort of learn to value themselves through how other people see them. This is a bit of a downfall for a Venus in Libra, if there ever is one, just because, you're not really trying to find or see what you value, or not really trying to find your own sense of value and appreciation through your own self. You're trying to find it through other people and through their reactions, through your relationships, and through how other people see you. That's sort of the whole reflecting and using other people to, see yourself better is a Venus in Libra thing. This Venus sign placement is super accommodating and very, very much they really want to know your opinion. They want to know what you think about it, and they want to know your thoughts on everything that you guys share together. They thrive on that back and forth, and being an air sign, they are naturally sociable, and they so connecting with people is really their thing. Venus in Libra. Venus in Libra is also definitely a lover of people, just all types of people. Whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you come from, it doesn't really matter. They want to understand people. They want to hear them out, hear their ideas, hear their side of the story. That's such a huge Venus in Libra thing. How they relate to other people is through, getting to hear their side of the story. Remember, it's all about the fairness. It's not just about what they think of you or the situation. It's about what you have to say too, and what you think, your own perspective as well. They're just naturally curious about people and where it is that they come from, and just how they see things differently. Speaking specifically about romantic relationships, they're very big into romance and being sentimental. They're big on like the anniversaries and just the traditional type of romantic stuff you would expect. But at the same time, they also kind of balance that out with space. Remember, you have to remember that they're still an air sign. So Venus in air, no matter what air sign that is, they're gonna need their space, and that includes Venus. That includes Libra, even though they are like the most romantic, the most like relationship oriented air sign. They're still gonna need their space, and they're still gonna try to balance out the closeness, the emotional connection with you, and the intimacy with their own space, their own like independence. They're definitely not as independent as some of the other cardinal signs, and definitely not as much as like any of the other air signs. But that's what's interesting about the sign of Libra, is that they're like in between. They're all about the balance, like I said. So they're never going to be too extreme of one thing or another thing. And this has to do a lot with trying to get along with people. Venus in Libra needs to know that you like them, and that you don't have drama with them, you don't have beef with them. And so Venus in Libra is going to try really, really hard to fit themselves to what you like and what would be helpful to you, or what you would appreciate in a person. And so Venus in Libra, the way that they might try to connect with different types of people, because they do like different types of people and hearing other people's perspectives, and just being fair with everybody, is that they're gonna try to like kind of mold themselves to what they think you might like, or say the types of things, and give the types of reactions that you wouldn't have a problem with. As much as their strong suit is of trying to like win the approval of as many people as possible, and like trying to get along with people, like that's definitely a good, really good strong point of a Venus in Libra. But at the same time, it can lead to them sort of losing themselves in a way, or not really knowing exactly who they are anymore, because they're so used to just pleasing people, and it just comes from wanting to be liked, and being naturally ruled by Venus. They need harmony and they need peace. If their relationships are not peaceful, and no matter who it is, or if they find out that you don't like them, or you don't appreciate them, or you just, for whatever reason, that can throw them off balance, and that's just really going to cause some unhappiness for them. But so they need to balance like being nice to people and forming those close relationships with still having a sense of who they are, and not, and learning to like not lose themselves in the middle of trying to just please everybody. So in a relationship with a Venus in Libra, they're gonna try very, very hard to make it as peaceful and harmonious as possible. Without that, they would be extremely unhappy, and they wouldn't be able to thrive, or push forward in a relationship that really, it doesn't bring either of you joy, or just, I feel like a Venus in Libra really strives for the ideal in a relationship. They're going to strive for the ideal partner, and when they find that, they're going to try to make the relationship between you as perfect as possible, or at least make it seem like it's perfect on the surface. Oh, speaking of surface, superficial is one of the biggest keywords for a Venus in Libra, just because they like the way that things appear on the surface and the way that things look. As long as it looks pretty, as long as it seems okay, everything seems peaceful and normal and fine, they're happy with that, and they can live with that. It's just all about appearances, all about what it seems like on the surface, even if there's not really any like substance to it, and that can go for their partners as well. As long as you kind of make them look good, and present yourself in a way that won't make them look bad, or you'll be able to help them create a relationship that makes it look like they're doing well, and that it's like the envy of all of their friends. I feel like a Venus in Libra can really learn to um, create and form deeper connections in their relationships, just because although they are an air sign, they are like intellectual and good with their words and communicating and just being outspoken and sharing their ideas with everyone and everything. But like, they can really learn to go deeper in their relationships and learn to be more emotionally vulnerable and more emotionally open and honest, because a Venus in Libra can sort of stray away from the depth through like getting too messy or about their emotions, about like expressing them. And so they might repress that. They might like kind of gloss over it and just try to intellectualize their feelings, even if they're like romantic feelings. They're kind of gonna like analyze it and pick it apart, like a typical air sign would. A Venus in Libra can sort of have this way of getting into a relationship with someone just for the sake of being with somebody. They tend to not do very well on their own unless they have like Venus Pluto, Venus Uranus aspects. Venus in Libra really thrives on being with others and having a person, having their own special person, their own partner, and they can enter into relationships just to satisfy that desire, that sort of emptiness from feeling like they're lacking their other half. A Venus in Libra needs to realize that they can be whole on their own. They can find happiness on their own. They can learn to give themselves their own self love. They don't always need to have it come from other people or get the validation from other people or have other people tell them that they're okay, that they're perfect, that they're awesome. Again, like I mentioned, they tend to use other people to be this reflection of their own self. It's like it's not enough to be on their own to say I love and value myself. It's like it needs to come from other people. They need to have your positive opinion of them. Venus in Libra is extremely caring. The way that they show their love is through being fair to you and being accommodating to you, as long as it doesn't, get too out of hand, like what I said, of, you know, losing themselves and just pleasing people just to please them. The way that they show their love for you is through really caring and through being there for you, through listening and letting you say your piece, giving you a fair shot, and then just kind of being able to give you some advice as well, because they are very communicative and they want to hear you and they want to be able to be of some sort of help to you, be of some assistance. Again, it's that partnership aspect, and they're going to try to do their best to be that partner, to be that perfect partner for you. And communicating and listening equally in equal amounts is one of their strongest suits. It's very easy to tell if a Venus and Libra person likes you, just because they are super, super romantic about it. Are they do crush very easily. They might even try to spread themselves thin. They enjoy the company of everybody, and but you'll know for sure that it's you that they like, because they can get extra mushy with you. They're, they appreciate that classic romance and really like taking their time in dating you and getting to know you. I feel like a Venus in Libra, as much as they want to be in a relationship in a one-on-one partnership, as much as they're looking for that one special person, the one, Venus in Libra may find it hard to settle down, because I feel like they enjoy people and the idea of people like way too much. They might try to like sample as much as they can out of the crowd as much as possible, and like, kind of see what's out there before like committing themselves to just one person. And this is a pretty classic air sign move. If you think about air as just an element in nature. It doesn't stay in one place, and it's just pretty much everywhere. Everywhere that you look, there's just, it spreads everywhere. And so it's really similar with an air sign. They can find themselves just wanting to be everywhere and with everybody at the same time because they're all about the group. They're all about people and socializing and like being, never staying in one place for too long. That's an air sign thing. And Venus and Libra, they could be serial daters. I think that's the right term to use for them, because they're serial monogamists. So, just one person at a time, but like one right after the other. And it's very rare that a Venus in Libra will take like a super long break after dating one person before moving on to the next one. And this can kind of get them the reputation of like being a player or just playing the field a lot, but there's really nothing wrong with that. I feel like a Venus in Libra can keep things super casual for like a really long time. They, like I said, they don't really strive for too much depth in their relationships, not too much attachment or like emotional messiness, intimacy, and an emotional involvement. They can really keep things casual. That's also an air sign thing, just because they don't get themselves that deeply involved with any one person for too long. Like I said, they really enjoy the dating of relationships and, just the getting to know you. And, if it stops there and it doesn't get any further than that, that's like a pretty normal thing for Venus and Libra, I think. I feel like they like the idea of commitment and the idea of, sharing themselves with one single person and they sharing themselves with them too. But at the same time, they also want to experience a lot of different types of people, like while they can, before, saying yes to just one person, so quickly and getting so involved with them. So if you're in a relationship with a Venus in Libra, what you really have in your life is a partner who is willing to do a lot for you and as long as you can give back to them, remember that they really appreciate that equality of a relationship. And you have a person who just wants peace in their relationships and they want you to like them. They want you to appreciate every little thing that they do. And so you have a person who knows how to balance their own independence, their own alone time with being with you and with sharing their life with you. But also a person who is super romantic and they like that sentimental stuff, that classic romantic stuff. And you have a person who wants to listen to you and who also wants to give you the best possible advice as well. I just feel like a relationship with a Venus in Libra is it's very easy for it to be smooth sailing with them because they're going to try really hard to keep it that way for as long as possible. This is a person who is like in love with love and in love with the idea of people, the just people in general and connecting with them and relating to them and being able to be there for them. So I think that's about it for Venus and Libra for today. If you have any other thoughts about Venus and Libra, if I've missed anything, if you notice something about them that I haven't mentioned, then go ahead and comment down below. And if you're new to my channel, please remember to subscribe and like the video if you did. Let me know what your own Venus sign placement is as well. And make sure you go ahead and follow me on my social medias at Twitter and Tumblr, at lunarcappy. And I look forward to seeing you in the next Venus sign video.